Hi, this is Alan Shea, and we are here at one of the, I should say, major donor centers, especially can I say the only donor center on the east side of town?
It is, I believe, the only one on the east side, this far east, yeah.
On the far east side, and certainly in the Eaton Canyon where the Eaton fire started. And I'm here with Pastor Manning to my right, and I'm here with KJ, who is a amazing actor, director, producer who has been volunteering here today since we got here, and I think he's got his workout in today because he was doing all that twisting and turning. Yeah, he had all that twisting and turning. But I really wanted the community to see how community comes together, because KJ does not live here in Pasadena. Share where you live, KJ, and how far you came.
First, I want to thank the pastor for allowing me the privilege of being able to help out here. Thank you. I came here from Torrance, by invite of Alan, just to help out at the centers that are doing this distribution to these families. And, I was watching it on the news, and I got to see his program, and it just made me wonder what I could do as an individual, So me and my family, my brothers and I, we got together some donations, some clothing, some food, and mostly new socks. We just put together bags of socks to help, as much as we can, some, small bit, and to just do as much as we can. We're not wealthy folks. We're, just working folks, and a family that's committed to service, of our country and to our community. And it's just a pleasure and an honor and a privilege to be able to help out.
And the other reason I wanted to make sure, Pastor Manning, we got KJ here. He's a former Army man. Okay.
So you understand protocol and order.
Right. Okay.
Yes,
so that's another little thing we're going to touch upon, because you being on the east side, you see how everybody's impacted with the National Guard here and everything else. But before we share that with our viewers, why don't you share with us how has your donor center has had an impact on the east side of Pasadena since you started, since you're in your, fourth day or fifth day?
Well, Brother KJ talked about just doing whatever part they can. And that's the wonderful thing about community. It's not equal amount, but it's equal sacrifice. And every little bit helps, whether you're serving, whether you're giving, whether you're donating. We've been here, we're going into our 6th day of serving this community from our East Campus. And we found out that so many of the Altadena and Pasadena residents still need resources. But the West has been inundated with resources, West Side, which is great, because many times Northwest and the West is overlooked. So that's wonderful. But over here on the East, it's easier to get to. We've got a great street that allows the traffic to flow. We've got a nice sized lot that people can come in and go out, get everything they need. So we're into our 6th day, and we're still doing it, serving our community. Our goal is to find a need and fill it, find a hurt and heal it. That's what the community is about, and that's really what church is about too.
And why don't you share before we let you get off that rhythm, because you rolling so smooth. I thought you was gonna make a song out of it.
I'm about to go into
you may as well, because you can show that talent too, because he is so talented, and I've seen him in so many facets that it's kind of hard for me just to see him as just a pastor. He's truly an orchestrator of what the need is. And that's what I'd like to share with him and the viewers, because he brings so much humor, so much life, can relate to so many different people in different ways. Why don't you share with them really how has your exposure on the east side, which is definitely different than being on the west side and some of the west side churches, how have you been received by the east side community?
Well, it's amazing, Alan, because and to our viewers, for several years we've been on the front line of activism and social justice and community engagement. And one of the things I've been saying for years when we're at city council or whatever, we need to have one Pasadena. Usually when there's a shooting or something, it's Northwest, and everybody else says, well, that's good as long as it's not here. But I was praying, and I've been saying that, and I had a vision like it's one Pasadena is what it's going to take. And then the Lord blessed us with this East Campus. and it was a tremendous blessing. I have to tell you that whole story later. But when he blessed us with this East Campus, it was not only a blessing for our church, but it was prophetic, because now Pasadena Church, which is here for the community, we've got a West Campus and an East Campus. So it has been through this church and through this effort, we're bringing our whole city together. And we're finding out that people in need don't care about these things. Crisis brings clarity. The things that you think matter don't matter when you're running from a fire, or when you need sanitation products, or when you need water and toilet paper. So it's a great equalizer in that sense. But the other thing that crisis does, it cultivates community. I'm about to start getting my...
Go ahead. I was getting ready to get my rhythm in. You know,
community. Getting our people in unity. It cultivates community. All of these workers here, 99% of them I don't really know, or I met them for the first time. But when a crisis happens, people come together and they don't ask what's your political affiliation. They don't ask what's your denomination. No questions I've heard about gender or what you think about these things. I've got my thoughts about it, but it doesn't matter in this space. It's all about community coming together to help somebody else who's hurting, somebody else who's in need. And that's a beautiful thing that's happening here.
And last but not least, before we let you go, what would you like to share with viewers as we recognize Martin Luther King's Day weekend, and a weekend that should be committed to service in the wake of a crisis like this?
Well, of course, you know, the main thing that we all remember is the I Have a Dream speech. I just want to remind you that in Dr. King's dream speech, he said, I've been to the mountaintop. He hadn't been to the mountaintop, but he had already seen what he believed by faith that God was going to do. And in that same spirit of Dr. King, we believe that the promise has already been given out of Isaiah 61:3, that God gives us beauty for ashes. So I'm in a space, and I want you to begin to see and to dream that out of these ashes that we're standing in right now, beauty's going to rise, and encourage one another with it. Tell folk, don't give up, don't let go, because beauty will rise. That's what I'm calling it unofficially, Operation Beauty Will Rise. And these brothers here today are solidifying that and helping our whole community heal. God bless you.
I want to just thank you, my brother, because
Right.
love you. I appreciate everything you do.
Amen. I know.
And we're about to get busy.
All right, we are.
Okay.
Brother, it's an honor meeting you there. If we're here, you know where we are, anything you need, or do you own other families?
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm doing, encouraging my family. And like I said, my two brothers kind of pitched in.
Yeah.
And I'm also reaching out to my friends, letting them know we, may not live in the affected area, but we are part of the community.
Absolutely.
We are part of the community, and it's just a privilege just to see everybody working hand in hand.
Yeah.
Everybody, you think these people knew each other all their lives.
You don't see no fights, you don't see no disagreements.
No, it's just a beautiful thing.
Yeah. Amen. Well, thank you.
Thank
so
you.
much.
And it's
All
a
right,
great
we'll
way
talk
for me
later.
to honor King Day
Amen.
today.